And Jim Norton joins us. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, I wish Artie was here for you.
He's like, well.
I don't know if I had you.
Well, I appreciate you being here. You didn't reject me.
Yes. If I had a choice, I would have loved to invite you to the show.
I just felt it'd be inappropropriate for me to specify that and just go like, hey,
I know.
Thanks to Artie, you had nothing to do with it. But.
Yeah. I know. You're right. No, but I feel a little guilty because, like you are a comedian.
Yes.
A great comedian.
Thank you.
Comedian who organizes tours, famous tours. And, I'm not a comedian.
It's all right.
It's hard for me to...
We're establishing facts at the beginning of this conversation. I like that.
I'm laying it all out there. No, I just feel like, rest assured, I'm very respectful of what you've done. I think you've done an awesome job.
Thank you.
Everyone says amazing things.
Well, I feel like I'm crashing your part because you guys are both much more knowledgeable. I like sports on a mild level. Like I'm nothing like... And you guys, I prefer...
What does that mean, a mild level?
Meaning I don't like it like I used to. I watch a lot of UFC. I've become kind of obsessive about UFC.
Nice.
I'm actually interviewing Anderson Silva tomorrow, who I love.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. He's a weird interview,
Wow,
because he's so nice, you know what I mean? He was better. He's such a weird little meek
So you've interviewed him before?
Yeah. I've interviewed most of them.
How? For
Opie and Anthony.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had them all. Fedor was kind of hard because he spoke Russian, so we had to hope our jokes translated through a very kind of a big Mike Bichetti-looking woman.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
No, it's a compliment to you. It's quite an insult to her. So yeah, I love those guys. So I can't do sports like you guys can. I could listen to you guys, watch you guys in the green room. And you can keep it interesting about sports for quite a while. I can't do that with most sports.
You know what's interesting for covering baseball like I do. This is like as awful as it is to have to deal with PEDs and steroids and all that. It's our heyday because for talk radio, you get a lot back and forth. There's a lot going on. We're not talking about so and so beat so and so when it's August 22nd.
Right.
For comedy. This has to be between. I was just talking about seeing Wiener on TV again.
I had a statue to him in my house.
I mean, you gotta be loving life, right?
He's the greatest. The worse the country is, it's like any conservative talk radio show secretly roots for a Democratic president and vice versa, because they want something to rail against. So for comedians, it's a dream come true. Like Spitzer and Wiener both are still running for offices. It does not get any better than that. I think for men in general, I think they represent us very well and very accurately.
Yeah, right. Accurately, for sure.
I mean, is there a better, more honest representative of a man than Anthony Weiner? I mean, he gets caught texting his junk and he does it again. And it's like, we say we want politicians that represent us. That's a guy who understands the average man.
You are, from what I've heard, you are a porn aficionado to some
I'm
degree,
a complete...
right?
Yeah, I love it.
Did you? I can't fault you there. I think a lot of folks do. Did you see the newest with Leathers?
She's a friend of mine.
Did you see what's going on?
No, I have. Oh, with the HIV, she's fine.
Well, we don't know for sure, right?
Yeah, but they were tested right before, and they were probably tested right after. So it's not that there's not going to be any nerves.
Yeah.
But I think that she's okay. I think
she's in the clear.
Oh yeah. They tested before.
Okay, they were tested before, but from what I understand, all right, his sexed kitten, is Sydney Leathers, and she just right after this all busted out. She decided to go film a porn, right? Or did she do porn before that?
I think she did it after. I don't know.
I think this was 3 weeks ago, from what I read. 3 weeks ago, she decided to go do Wiener and Me.
Catchy title.
By the way, he was really slick, Wiener, too, kind of distancing himself. Which one of my Senate rants did you enjoy? What a dope. Keep it a little ambiguous, you idiots. Did you like my big nose and my curly hair? We know, it's you.
Yeah.
That's slick Wiener.
She had unprotected sex with this guy, Xander Corvus.
Yeah.
And he was the last on-screen partner of Cameron Bay, who revealed this week she tested positive
for HIV. Yeah, and again, I can understand why that would be frightening, but men don't get it from women as easily.
Right.
And the guy is probably fine. I doubt he gave it to that woman, because if he gave it to that woman, she never would have tested positive this quickly. So she probably
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's a turnaround time, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it can be laying dormant for this guy Xander Corvus, and he can pass it on, correct?
Probably, but let's not look at it so negatively. I think that,
dude, I mean, what an awful, the worst case scenario, right? I mean, you decide that you're going to take advantage of your 15 minutes of fame, and for whatever reason, throw it into a porn movie.
Yeah.
And you find out that the guy may have HIV, and you may have it too. That's just some bad timing.
It's terrible luck, honestly. Let's be honest. I mean, he's not exactly the sexiest guy to be attached to for the rest of your life. But I would still have sex with Sydney Leathers. I have that much faith that she's fine, without a doubt.
So,
without a doubt.
How did you meet her?
We were just we met through some mutual friends, and we just chat. We've never slept together.
Really?
It's her choice. Yeah, believe me. I didn't say no. I wasn't like, well, come on now, Sydney. Not while things are so hot. I'm completely willing.
So how long have you known
her? Maybe a month.
She's really hardcore political type girl, right? I mean,
she's actually really nice. He poked her on Facebook. And then she just kind of
pokes on Facebook.
I don't ever. I hate Facebook.
How could people poke on Facebook?
I didn't think people
hate
really
it. I get poked all the time by idiots.
Oh, it's the worst. You want to have a pillow fight? Why don't you die? No, I don't. Facebook is very irritating. So he was dumb to do it. He should have at least. Hey, stupid! Use another cell phone. Don't use the phone you used before. He was asking to get caught. And I'm not knocking Anthony Weiner. Believe me, I've texted that same photo of myself. Every other picture in my phone looks like a small grain silo with 2 feet behind it. Like, I get it.
Inside Port Tonight continues.
How old is she? She's 20?
I want to say 20 or 22, something like that.
Well, that's a big problem right there. I mean,
she's old enough though. You're old enough to go to war.
She's old enough, but is she?
Oh, that's what we're using now.
Absolutely. If you're old enough to get the electric chair, you're certainly old enough to have sex.
Okay, it's better than the bleed thing.
And plus, I said, oh God, no, I'm not that creepy. They got to be legal.
Neither am I. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Weiner, really, if you're a well thought out, a planning type person, which you would hope he'd be as mayor.
Does he look well thought out?
Organized and well thought out. I mean, how could you have faith that a 20-year-old girl is going to?
Because he has a problem.
Keep this under wraps. That's my biggest.
It's the I'll tell you what. You're logically right. It's the same thing as when To Catch a Predator was on. And not that Weiner's a predator, but the fact that those guys knew there was a show called To Catch a Predator, and they still showed up. Because, when you're in that mode, even though what they're doing was horrible, when you're in that mode of, you don't think, you're just blinded by. It's almost like, why would some guy who's got one drunk driving conviction ever do it again? But there's a lot of people that have second and third convictions because when you're in that vibe, you're not thinking. And that's what Weiner was doing. It's like you don't care. You ever do that for so long, like your mouth is dry and you're just dirty texting and you're just looking for all these trigger words? It's wonderful.
I have not done. You do this a lot.
It's
often.
It's all I do. It literally.
Really?
I can't read books anymore.
Wow.
It's terrible. I don't sleep well. Yeah, it's a horrible addiction.
Now this is a great. This would be a great commercial for like AT&T or Verizon or Sprint. What service you have that has no buffering for your porn?
Dude, that's a great point. Like I have Verizon because my hog pictures don't get cut off halfway while I'm sending them. There's nothing worse than when you're waiting for that blue thing to send and you're like, come on, it looks good.
Well, everybody loves you, Casey.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
If you love me, then I feel better.
Yes, Mike always chimes in with some really heartfelt,
important thing.
Although I don't like the fact that he gave Carlos Legendary, he gave me Friend, and then Gino, he just went and comedian Gino's Bisconti. Like you've never been to Delaware with that stupid creep.
I think Mike's got some deep-seated issues with Gino.
What is it?
No. It's not among the Italians.
Okay, his family. Then his family has some deep-seated issues with Gino.
No, Gino's a good guy. I love Bisconti.
Yeah, well, your family was pretty mad. Your family was upset. We have to take a break, though.
I know his problem with Gino, by the way. It's the fact that he has hair like the big ragu from Laverne and Shirley. It causes people to hate Gino Bisconti.
Yeah.
Wait till you see him, folks. Home, you're going to love that one.
All right, we got to take a break. Phone number is 888-936-8822. Call and weigh in on anything you want. Ryan Braun, Jim Norton, sexting, whatever.
Sydney Leathers.
Sydney, yeah, absolutely.
Delightful.
Back with Jim Norton and Casey Stern.